This is the Great Alaska Hunting Podcast. I'm Dalton Gray.
And I'm Ryan Humphreys.
Broadcasting from our hometown of Fairbanks, Alaska. Thanks for listening and enjoy the show. Welcome back to the Great Alaska Hunting Podcast, everybody. I'm Dalton.
I'm Moe.
And if you can't tell, we got evicted. Well, more like we relocated.
Yeah.
Much like a bird does from Alaska to other parts of the world in the wintertime.
Right.
Like, I don't know, turkeys. Largely known for their long, non-stop migratory flights.
Got a lot of turkeys in Alaska.
Flights,
Lots of turkeys, man.
Flights in a V pattern.
Saw a flock of turkeys just the other day.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Nice. Were they holding signs protesting out on Airport Way? Saying no kings?
Nice. I see what you did there.
See what I did there? It's pretty sharp.
Yeah.
Speaking of birds.
Right.
I read an article the other day about a bird that flew nonstop from Southwest Alaska all the way to Tasmania. Or
That's a long ways.
Southern Australia. Nonstop. Like, it flapped its wings the entire way, all the way to Southern Australia. Pretty impressive. And it was something, I forget, like 10 or 11 days like that it in flight nonstop. No water landings, no stops to feed. And before they do that, they put on like 50% of their body weight on top of that in fat, and their organs shrink to make room for more fat and to not, need to stop for food. And
so did you impressive. Fly up really high so it could just kind of glide? No,
it says that bird, to remain in flight, has to keep flapping its wings. It's not a glider. It was some little bird, like one of those little Arctic tern looking things, little skinny beak and tiny little thing.
Yeah.
But pretty impressive nonetheless.
Yeah. That is, yeah.
Anyway,
that's an interesting story.
Migration. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you. I thought it was an interesting story too. But we have migrated to a new studio space. This has been a work in progress for quite some time, about a year in fact. And there is more attached to the studio than just this room. And that was the entire project. So,
yeah.
But that's not going to be on video.
We'll upgrade. So. These books are...
Garage books.
Yes, they came from the garage. They'll get updated with more suiting to the specific content of the show. Probably some books we've talked about.
I have a Jack O'Connor book that can go up there. Yeah. I have I have a lot of good hunting books.
We should, and if we've talked about the books, we should put them up there.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. And we'll probably have more shelves, and I had these shelves in my house.
And then we were going to have more shelving over here, like one up there, one down there, another one down here with some skulls on it.
Yep.
Yeah. Do some skulls on display. And
more comfortable chairs.
Yeah. The room is currently lined with dead thing skins. A lot of bears.
Yep.
Matter of fact, mostly bears. And going through my stash at the other place, I actually threw out a couple of ratty hides from my previous tanner before I was using the local guy here. That previous tannery actually mulched a couple of my hides. And that was right at the end of when I was using them. Excuse me. And so I switched over to using Rob here in town. And there's a couple of his fine bits of handiwork in here.
Yeah, he does a good job.
Matter of fact, he did that one.
He did that deer hide too, right?
Yeah, he did the deer hide. Yeah. And then he did a couple of the ones over there, the black ones. But yeah, so it does a nice job for sound dampening and adding to the ambiance. But, we still need blinds in here and things like that.
Kind of smells like a tannery in here now.
Yeah, but that's fine,
Yeah, it doesn't bother me.
I can barely smell anything still.
Yeah, it's very subtle. It's not strong.
Well, and Rob uses some of that, mineral oil? He sprays on?
He does several things. He cleans his hides really well before he sends them back. I remember you get them back from ink and oil, like sawdust falling out of the hides and stuff. You had to clean them yourself. He cleans them and treats them and
sprays them,
takes care of the hair and brushes them down. And
they got a nice little sheen finish to them.
What's What's the name of his thing?
Morris Custom Hides.
Morris Custom Hides. There you go. Look him up if you need something done.
Yep. He's not far from here, actually.
Nope.
We need to have him on here now that we have the new space. We've been kind of withholding a few different guests until we are moved into the new space. But now that we are in transit and in the moving process of getting everything over here, we'll start having some other guests in. Now that we're to that point. But yeah, you and I have both been knocked flat on our butts this week down with the sickness.
Right.
My wife and I got it the exact same time, and you got it a day later, and it's been so much fun.
It's been great.
Not having the energy to get out of bed and raging fever and waking up every day at like 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, and then staying awake. It's fun. Yeah. I enjoy it.
Yeah, I know that I haven't been this sick for...
Oh, man.
Since...
I missed almost the entire week of work. That hasn't happened to me since...
I think the last time I missed this much work because I was sick. And my wife would probably correct me.
I know when it was for me. 6 years ago.
Yeah?
Because I missed our work trip to Holy Cross.
Okay.
And that was in the middle of summer. And my boss left on that trip. And in hindsight, he still jokes to this day that he's glad I didn't get to go because it ended up being like a 2-day job and he got stuck there for the whole week. And I got better about halfway through the job. And so he was gone. And at the time, I had only been working there a couple of years. And so I said, well, I have half the week and he's not going to be back till the weekend. So it was like Wednesday at that point. And I drove to the valley and went hunting with Remington.
Nice. Yeah, no, I was about to go over to Europe.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. And I was trying to make up some stuff at work, get stuff done at work. And I had felt some fever and cold coming on.
Yeah, so I forgot about that.
Still being not that I'm an old man now, but
but you do have gray hair.
Apparently. I have gray hair.
Join the club.
Anyhow, I got a little sick, little fever and stuff.
Yep.
And I did what I used to do, which was started downing Red Bulls and then splitting ibuprofen and Tylenol back to back, right? Ibuprofen 6 hours, Tylenol's 4. And so I'd kind of split that difference. Mm-hmm. And just every 3 hours I'd take the other one during the workday, and I'd take anything at night so I could hopefully sleep. And anyway, I didn't get better for some reason. It just, doing that and working long days, I didn't get better. I got more sick, and I think I ended up being down like 10 days.
Wow.
Total. Yeah. And it had like jaundice and stuff because all that Tylenol had messed with my liver and
ibuprofen too.
Ibuprofen's at kidneys.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
it'll mess you up.
And and I already have a little bit of a liver buildup thing that doesn't ever affect me unless I'm like really already sick or something.
So we do apologize for any of the sniffles that'll make it in here. We're still on the mend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we don't have the AI editing skills or ability yet, or I'm not paying for it to take just the sniffles out.
Yeah. But
I'm sure it's out there. It's just not worth it.
We'll try to keep it out of it, but
it wouldn't be sincere or real, right?
Some of it sneaks its way in there, a little sneeze here or there, then, you came to the real podcast. Anyway.
Yeah.
I think we should talk about, just briefly, the bear baiting class that's coming up. We got a good number of people that are interested in that after we announced it, and Andrew has gotten a bunch of interest in there at Screaming Eagle at the shop with the flyers. And we don't have flyers out in town at the stores quite just yet. I mean, it's still a little bit early for it. It's not until April 18th, so we're just over a month away at this time. So we're not pushing it real hard just yet, but it is coming up. April 18th on a Saturday afternoon at 4:30. We are having a bear baiting class that we are collaboratively putting on with Screaming Eagle Archery. Mm-hmm. And, of course, we've had Andrew Wilson on the podcast before, and we're good friends with him. And your dad is old time hunting buddies with Andrew's dad,
Yeah.
Randy. So there's a lot of familial ties that go back there with Andrew and his dad and bear hunting. But anyway, so Andrew reached out and said that they were looking at doing this class and would we be interested in helping to put it on. So we said, sure, why not? We enjoy that kind of thing. We've done some things like that in the past.
Right.
So anyway, so that's going to be at 4:30 in the afternoon. Now, if you are a local and you are interested in bear baiting, just kind of an idea of what the class is going to be about, because that's been the question from a few of the listeners here locally that have reached out direct message and asked, is the class going to be the same as previous classes? And there will be some things that kind of carry over, but there will be a compression of material. It's going to be fit into like an hour and a half, at most 2 hours of a sit-down session, and we're going to go through everything that's important and nothing that's not. You can figure out how to do certain things on your own. It's not rocket science.
Right.
But the legality is up to you. I'm not interested in interpreting the law for people. I'm interested in providing nuanced experience.
Yeah. We'll hit the basics when we talk about setup.
Right.
But we're not going to tell you how to set up a tree stand.
Yeah. Or how far off any trail or pipeline or roadway that you need to be. There are certain things that are just going to be up to you that, you're responsible for everything anyway.
But read the regulations. If you haven't done it yet, then there's you shouldn't be sitting in that class. That's kind of my...
Yeah, you should have a basic idea, because we're going to go from advanced basic and up in our interpretation of how we're going to present this material. This is not going to be an ultimate 101. I think there's a lot of good 101 material out there. You can find some decent YouTube videos about bear baiting 101 and how to do all these, very simple things. But honestly, observing a higher level of competency in a video, I think, is better than a 101 step-by-step. Here's how I do this. Here's how I do this, because you don't need to do it all that way.
So speaking of video,
I
put out, I've talked about it. I talked about it on the podcast after I did it. When I had the whole debacle with the wheelers and that story, we had my buddy Hunter on here and broken down wheelers everywhere and big mess and problems and hiking out and all that kind of stuff. And I had to go in and rescue mine, and I talked about and I did that by myself, and I talked about how I had videoed that and maybe would put a film together. Well, I finally did it. It's on YouTube. It's doing good. Lots of people watching it.
Yeah.
If you've seen it and have liked it and stuff, I'm grateful. If you haven't seen it, you can go check it out. It's not long. Let me know what you think, if it needs work.
Was it like 13 minutes?
13 minutes, yeah.
It's pretty short.
And it's just me hiking in, fixing my wheeler and driving it out and discovering it was more broke than I thought it was. My favorite comment was somebody said, I know you're supposed to give like credit and stuff, but you can go see it. You can go find out. I'll look and see so I can say his name. Anyhow, so that being said, videos though. So I put that on there. Go check it out. It's on the Great Alaska Hunting Company YouTube channel.
Yep.
But my favorite, I'm going to be, as I'm bear baiting this year, I loved that filming process. I really liked it. It's something I've wanted to do because it felt like it went with what we do already.
Yeah.
Now that I've done it, I love every step of it. I love the filming, the editing, the storytelling. It really grabbed a hold of me. And so this, the rest of this winter, normally I'd probably start saying spring around this time, but it's not spring. Anyway, I'm going to, looking for opportunities to film stuff that I do. And when I have time to edit it and get it online, I will. But one of the things I'm going to do is do some bear baiting videos. I'm not sure exactly how that's going to break down and what content you're going to see. Obviously, I could shoot enough footage to make both a setting up a bear bait just as a video for people to watch and a how-to if we wanted to do something like that. Although the possibility of those getting out in time for you to use them for yourself, I don't know. They'll probably be out in time for you to watch because you're just as fired up as the rest of us are.
Yeah.
But anyhow, I'll be doing that. we've got hunts planned this year.
Yeah.
You're talking about getting a camera now.
We've got a lot of stuff planned this year. This year's a very, very busy schedule.
I can't wait to film the deer hunt.
Oh, man.
That is going to be an absolute blast.
Me too. That fits that style of filming perfectly, too. And just, for reference, that there are suggestions that we would like from you, the listeners, as well. Excuse me. But for future projects coming up, if you have certain things that you'd like to see more film or information about that you don't think gets enough coverage, then shoot us a comment. I know before we've gotten a lot of interest about hide care and hide prep, and we've worked over some ideas for that as well, doing a little film mini episode series on that too, just basic hide care. But what's that comment?
All right, so this comment is from at Dawson Hat on YouTube. Here I am thinking I have bad luck, but this dude has to have the worst luck ever.
That was my favorite comment.
That was my favorite comment. And if you listen to the show regularly, then you know the backstory of everything that happened to the video. It's not really in the video. I wish I had done more of that, but I didn't.
Yeah.
But so I responded to him. Thanks for the chuckle. But there's a lot more that went into that. The bad luck had not started in that video.
That was the best part of that whole trip.
Was that second chunk of video?
Yeah. I think as far as the recovery section goes,
I think the best part of the entire trip from start to end was Hunter and I making it out on my wheeler while having to refill the radiator because it was overheating 20 plus miles.
Yeah, I guess that's
that wheeler true. Getting us out at least 20 miles
yeah.
or 23 miles or whatever it was. That was the most pucker factor part of the trip.
Yeah, I guess that's probably true.
Anyway.
So we are going to try to do some more filming in kind of that style, that short action story type of video, almost more of like a vlogger type thing. I think that's easy to keep a good attention span, especially in today's day and age. And we are not going for that long form, drawn out storytelling thing. The story will be there, but we're mostly just in this for the fun of it anyway.
I think the video will make itself. As we make it, we'll decide how long it's going to be. I didn't think
exactly.
a 3-hour ATV rescue trip needed to be 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we do have a lot of stuff planned, so, let us know if there are things that you would or wouldn't like to see more of that are lacking in the Alaska hunting space in that style of footage anyway, because there's a lot of do-it-yourselfer footage out there, but it seems like a lot of it is, and you tell me if I'm getting across with this point, but it's filmed one way, but you can tell that they're trying to portray it a different way. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like they're filming it this style, but they think that they're telling the story this style, and it doesn't go together. Like a vlogger style video, but it's not as clean of an edit, and it's an hour and a half long. Yeah. I'm sorry, but I don't have time for that.
So being homesick, when I haven't been in bed, I've been sitting at my computer watching my video was getting a lot of views, and I had really enjoyed making it. So I want to do better next time.
Right.
And so I'm just watching, I'm watching the GOAT Outdoor Boys and find all these other channels that are similar, and, these guys in New Zealand, and we got, not really a lot of guys in Alaska doing
not a ton
doing that.
Not a ton.
Anyhow, which, there's that style of video. And you had a guy you sent me, Xander Budnick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a goober.
What's that? Weekend Mish in New Zealand. Yeah. Those guys are funny. Anyway, just that I appreciate about almost all of those. Yeah. Is there's no fluff. In any other stuff.
Clay Hayes is another good one, too.
Clay Hayes is good.
Clay does a really good job. I feel like Clay does the best job of mixing education with a clean, precise edit.
I think the edit on Clay's could be better, honestly. But I think the filming is good for the most part, but that's just me being picky now that I figured. Now I think I haven't figured anything out. I mean, don't want to put it that way. Yeah. But from everything I'm watching,
I mean, he's obviously doing something right.
He's doing great.
And I don't know how many people watch him as soon as they come out, but I'm one of those guys. Like I'm a big fan of what Clay does.
So part of my thing is, and I think my perspective works really well for trying to find what is good. It's not that his isn't great. It's that I have a short attention span for YouTube videos, because I'm usually busy. I don't take a lot of time to watch them. I've never watched a YouTube video on a YouTube channel every time it came out. Ever.
Really?
Like, I mean, there's maybe some Sundays for a while there I was watching
I'm on YouTube more than I'm on anything else.
Well, you don't have kids.
No.
Right. And so if I'm watching something on YouTube, a lot of times I was watching more Outdoor Boys recently because, well, I can watch it with my kids. I'm not worried about it. Almost all the gun channels I watch, and stuff, it's like, I'm not watching that with my kids. Like, and almost all the outdoor channels for that matter.
Yeah.
Outdoor style channels. It's just like, well, this was great until all of a sudden, Anyway, so that part aside, I'm sitting watching stuff and my attention span hasn't been short recently, but it usually is. Yeah. Usually if I'm not grabbed and just kept captivated by it, then, and so, a lot of cuts of B-roll are too long. And that's what a lot of guys make. Biggest mistake a lot of guys make is where you could play the beginning of a clip and the end of a clip, and it could be a total of 6 seconds instead of 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Right. And if you split that throughout your whole film, well, you cut, and I'm just talking about your footage that you're cutting. I'm just talking about your in-between footage, your transition footage, right? You're flying in, you're hiking in, all that kind of stuff, where you're not talking and they're telling that part of the story through just some film, but it's way too long of cuts. I start to lose interest. Unless I really know who this guy is and what's going on or what I want, or I'm trying to figure out where he's at. Then I'm glad for those long cuts.
Tissue papers are there.
But anyhow, so that's the kind of thing I'm looking at. That's what we're shooting for. I wasn't planning on getting into all that today, but that's fine. There's nothing wrong with some transparency. I hate the fourth wall. So, but yeah, anyway, we're buying cameras and gear to do this well. We're not trying to buy anything super expensive, just the stuff that works.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's a lot of potential for interesting content that doesn't need to try to pretend to be something that it's not. Yeah. I don't want to produce short form, well edited and clean, precise footage and try to tell some story that's not there in the footage. To me, if there's something to be seen there, I'll figure it out. I don't need you to sit there and narrate it to me. Another thing that I absolutely detest about a lot of hunting films is you watch, let's just say, an entire day of hunting. They shoot the animal, they walk up to it, they prop it up, pick up the head and show you, and then they explain what happened. I just watched it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't want to hear the story again.
The story should be told in the filming, and even if it requires
I hate that
narration during the edit.
Incredibly boring to me.
There was a show. I don't know if it was a show. It was one particular hunting DVD my dad had picked up when I was growing up called Stick and String.
Yeah.
And I've talked about that before, but it was guys sitting by a fire, sitting by a fireplace in a house or a lodge, talking about the hunts that they had been on. And instead of it being what you're talking about, where it's somebody, the traditional hunting film, which was somebody following a guy around with a camera,
right?
And the hunter talking to the camera, and they were decent, for what it was. It wasn't bad, but then they would shoot the animal, and they'd turn around and tell you about what happened. What these guys did is instead of that, they still had the guy with the camera and stuff, and they would film the stuff important, but primarily it was about the final part of the hunt itself, and the shot, and how all that happened. And they would sit there and talk about that. Yeah. Right? And tell you the story. They're narrating it. Yeah. But they're narrating it, and it's not overproduced.
Right.
And I think telling the story simply. Anyway, we sure are getting on a soapbox for
having zero of this actually out, but consumers always have an opinion about what actually works. Let us know what you think.
We don't have a huge listenership on the podcast, obviously. So you guys are our loyal listeners. Let us know what you think. You can comment on the YouTube video. You can, if you watch. We also have the podcast on YouTube in video format. You can comment on there. You can message. Somebody messaged me on Facebook the other day. Somehow he found me on Facebook and messaged me on there. Yeah. And
I've gotten a trickle full of those too on Facebook.
Which is funny because you get a lot on Instagram, right? I've got nothing on Instagram from
mostly
people. Recently. Yeah. I think, Tyrell has sent me a video message or two on Instagram.
Yeah. But so
anyhow.
We say all that to say, if you have opinions or, things that you would like to see or hunts in specific that that we've done that you would say, hey, I'd love to see this process. That's what it's going to be about. The filming is going to be more about just showing what goes into it and less about here's how you do this. I'm not interested in making a how-to hunting video.
We're not trying to copy.
No.
But we are very much going to be very similar, not in the type of stuff that we do necessarily, but in how we portray it and show it as outdoor boys. That's the best way I can think to.
I think that's an extremely clean, effective way to just make a decent hunting video that's just that quick, clean style.
Is that a plane or my phone vibrating?
I think that's a plane, yeah. But anyway, so we got off on that from the bear baiting class from videos. And so if you are looking, back to the bear baiting class, if you're looking for 101 information, then find it on YouTube. We're not the guys for it. We will go over some basic things at the class. Or write into the
show and ask a question.
Exactly.
If you have a specific question. But
Right. But the class is going to be more suited towards this is what we've done in the past. This is what we've experimented with. It's going to be lessons learned through experience of actually bear baiting. That's what we're interested in sharing with people is our experience. And between you and I, we've got, a collective 25 years of bear baiting, something like that, at least.
Yeah.
But, as teenagers to adults, 20 years. That you and I have been doing it, either together or independently.
And I was doing it with my dad from when I was young. What was the first time I was in the stand? 5? 7? I don't remember.
Something like that. Yeah. But, that collective experience and then the other people that are going to be there to help augment that even more. I mean, you're going to be in a room where there are people with combined 50 or 70 years of bear baiting experience easily, and then some. And so being able to be at an in-person event and be able to ask questions of guys that are going to be there that have done this a long time and that have insights and stories about unique experiences or just tips and patterns in general of things that they've learned over the years, I think that's extremely valuable. And there is something to be said for helping to share information with people that are looking for that guidance, because you see that a lot on especially some of these Facebook forums. And guys get on there, hey, I'm first-time bear baiter, looking to go out. If somebody wants to take me along, I just want to learn. People are pretty cold and shut off to that type of thing. I know I am. I mean, if I saw somebody posting on there like I have, and I'm sure that you have over the years, and someone says, hey, I'm just looking for a partner to show me the ropes and teach me how to bear bait, blah blah. I'm not offering to take them.
Not off of Facebook, no.
Not to my spots.
You've got to meet me, impress
me organically.
Impress me with who you are by just being who you are.
Yeah, and if we get along, then great. We get along.
Yeah, and then bring it up. But but don't bring it up in a way like, can you teach me how to bear bait?
Yeah, exactly. But
anyway, you get the idea.
You and I have collectively taken out a lot of noobs over the years. and helped a lot of people get into it.
The last few noobs that I took out by
and
myself.
And we say noobs lovingly, of course.
Of course, yeah. We're millennials at heart.
Sure.
What?
What makes you not a millennial?
Dude, we're not millennials because of our age range. Based upon the years, we could kind of be. It's you know what? It doesn't matter.
What makes somebody a millennial?
It's a year thing. It's basically I think the most of the lists of last year millennial is 95.
Really?
Yeah.
Now I'm going to find out. Anyway,
okay.
Keep talking.
Anyway, I went through all the the mental, it was hard to learn the information, but we're practically Zoomers, I guess.
96. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Anyway, what were we talking about? Bear baiting.
Bear baiting. Taking noobs out.
Taking noobs out, yeah. So, yeah.
Lovingly.
Yeah. Yeah. And anyway, I took a couple guys out. Was it just, I don't remember. I was trying to take a guy, he was interested in bear baiting, and he was getting into filming, and he'd spent some money on film gear. Some serious money on film gear.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And I said, and I offered, and he was all gung ho. And it didn't turn out to be a great bear baiting year for me. We never had a bear come in, that year did not. It was a bad year, for me anyway.
The rut was late.
Yeah, rut. There was a lot going.
I'm just pulling your leg.
I know you're. Anyway, there was a lot going on. With the spots, and it was the first year I was baiting again in 3 or 4 years, and I was finding new spots, and anyhow, all that. And so he kind of got burned out, but what I discovered, because I took him along, I was like, all right, I want to start filming stuff.
Yeah.
He's got the gear. I don't really want to get into all that. If he can do the filming and editing,
sure,
and I can get him into bear baiting, I'll get him a bear.
Yeah.
And, that he didn't come with me at all the next season. He kind of, I don't know. Man. Anyhow, and then the next year I didn't film anything except for trying to film hunt shots, kill shots. That one video turned out okay. And anyhow, and then last year we were helping a buddy out some. And anyway,
last year we were?
Was it dude? I don't know, man. Everything's mixed up now. Anyhow,
I don't think we did that last year.
Anyhow,
no, we did. We did. Yeah, we helped our other buddy set a bait out.
We've done a lot with a lot of, but more recently, aside from that, at one point there was a lot of it going on.
Yeah,
and I think a lot of it was we just wanted somebody to help carry some bear bait.
Exactly. Yeah,
and
exactly. And it was come one, come all. If you have a strong back and a pack frame, and if I shoot one or two, then you can shoot one too.
I've got guys at work that look at me hey, if you need a packer, and I bear bait on Wheeler.
Yeah.
Right. And so I tell them, if you buy a Wheeler, I'll take you hunting.
Yeah.
And none of them have bought a Wheeler yet. So.
Yeah, it's the opposite for me.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah. People. I to that point, I took a new guy out last year to one of my baits the week before you came out with me at the end of there, and we shot that grizzly bear, which is not in here. I have not gotten that one tanned yet. Okay. But anyway,
we'll have to do once the studio is a little more finished out, we're going to build a table or something here, and we'll have to do a tour.
Yeah, do a little.
Or do some different angle shots for different stuff, Yeah.
Do a little crib session.
Crib session?
Never mind.
Okay.
The young listeners will get it.
All right. Yeah.
Anyway.
Zoomer you.
MTV Cribs.
I don't know.
Wow. You have no idea what that is. Anyway, so but he was interested, and he had asked about it, and he said, yes, I'd love to come out and see what that's all about sometime. And I said, you're not a cop, are you? I know he's not a cop, otherwise, what do you think I am, an idiot? But I took him out, and he packed in, and he's got a Wheeler, and he said, are we riding in? I said, no, we're not.
That's true, he does it.
He goes, how far of a walk is it? And I told him how far a walk it was. He goes, up or downhill? I said, a little this, a little that.
It's one of the easiest walks to a bear bait that I've ever.
Yeah, except the first 300 yards.
Not real. It's not that bad, dude.
That's what my wife says.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Well, she's got short legs.
First 300 yards is all uphill.
Not really.
Think about it.
Yeah, but...
Mic off for a second.
I know.
Yeah.
But
she hates that. She can't stand it. She's like, what? Yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to give it away. But anyway. But yeah, so I told him, I said, well, you got a pack frame? And he goes, well, I'll borrow one. I said, well, you got to carry grease. And he goes, all right, I'll carry grease. So we each carried in a bag of dog food and all of our gear. I had a rifle and my bow. And he had a big handgun that he borrowed, which I told him, you're better off just using it as a club.
Didn't have enough stopping power.
It didn't have enough wallop. I think it was a 460 Smith.
Oh,
I said, how much have you even shot that thing? He goes, a handful of times. Okay. Well,
yeah. Well,
I'll be sure to let you shoot first. Then
that's what I tell people if they don't. I said if you're not gonna. I tell people if you're not gonna shoot, go buy a revolver.
Well, sure. But
that's what I tell him.
He just borrowed it.
I know.
I said, you got a 9mm, right? He goes, well, yeah. We should have just brought that.
I have carried a 9mm into that bait.
I would so much rather somebody bring a gun they can shoot than borrow a gun that they can't.
Buffalo Bore makes a bear load for a 9mm.
I'm well aware.
And I think Underwood does too. Like
I'm pretty sure we even had that conversation in the stand. Like, hey, if you do get into this, don't buy one of these stupid things. Just go.
No.
Just go
if
out
you
with a 9mm
want, buy
pistol.
a 10mm, but...
To be honest with you, how many problems have we had at a bait where we actually had to shoot a bear with a handgun between you and I? Never. And how about your dad? Never. And how about Randy? Never. We're talking about just those 4 people.
Right.
We're talking about at least 150 bear encounters that have resulted in a dead bear, whether it's one of us pulling the trigger or somebody else. But between the 4 of us, at least 150 dead bears in those 4 people. And none of us have ever had to use a handgun to kill a bear. I'm just saying. There's something about that math.
No, I agree. I still
having a handgun at a bait to me is great. I almost always have one. I try to bring mine.
I don't always carry one if I'm rifle hunting.
Yeah. If I was rifle hunting, it might be a bit different.
And I usually just only carry a handgun as a firearm if I'm bow hunting.
Yeah. See, I'm the other way around.
Well, if I was on that bait now, there's a potential, depending on when I was going in, right? I might,
earlier season, handgun you probably get away with.
Also, like, if all I'm doing is running in there to bait it up.
Yeah.
And then there's a good chance.
To me, I'm just bringing my short lever action.
Yeah.
That's the entire reason why I bought that rifle. It's just like a big pistol.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's way more effective than a handgun is going to be. Any handgun for that matter.
But if I'm screaming and yelling, dancing,
exactly,
with the pistol in my hands, like shooting sideways, I mean.
Yeah. I mean, who's going to stand in your way?
I'm probably just going to get a Draco.
Red anodized parts too?
On my next AR build.
Yeah, I love red anodized parts. Anyway, of course I'm kidding. But yeah, so anyway.
Actually, where's that? Purple anodized. I'm telling you, man.
You know what's even better? Purple anodized palmetto.
I don't think they make that.
Oh, you could.
Oh, what?
You could. Just make it purple. It's out there. I guarantee it.
I mean, they might.
Purple Draco.
I love PSA, man.
Yeah.
Don't even try trashing PSA.
Anyway, let's wrap this back around.
Your friend, he carried a great big gun in.
Yeah. So he brought in this great big hog leg, and we ended up seeing 4 different bears that night, which. My first night in the bear stand was not anywhere near that eventful.
So he had a hog leg and you had a mare's leg?
I didn't have a mare's leg, but I see what you did there.
But anyway.
I see what you did there.
Go on.
Yep. But we ended up having a boar and a sow grizzly bear come in, and then a couple of black bears, and he got to have that whole experience. You know, he got to see what it was like to have black bears at the bait, and then to have grizzly bears at the bait, and then to go through kind of a confrontational process with the grizzly bears, and he got to see that behavior and, you know, the vocalizations and the talk back and forth, and he thought that was all super cool. And that kind of a situation is ideally what you hope for outside of being able to shoot a bear, really.
Right.
Which I was trying to shoot that boar or grizzly, but we all know that didn't happen that day. But maybe this year, because I still have a grizzly tag available for the spring, because I didn't shoot a brown bear in the fall.
You gonna bait that bait?
I think I am, but I'm not gonna bait it much.
I see. Just to see what shows up.
I think at the beginning of June, we'll throw a little bit in there.
Okay.
And then...
So not go in there early?
No. Well, are you kidding me with this much snow?
Yeah, you could be lucky getting in there beginning of June.
Exactly. So throw a little bit of bait out beginning of June, see what happens, because that's when the black bears have hit there before. If there are black bears, then that's wonderful, and we'll go back in there in another week or two and check it. And if it's hitting with black bears, then we'll sit it and try to shoot one. If it's nothing but grizzly bears, then I don't think we're going to waste the money. Because, I mean, you saw what they were doing last year. I mean, they were eating 200 to 250 pounds of dog food in 3 days. So not even making it a week before they could get restocked on food. And there were 0 black bears left once the grizzly bears showed up.
Right.
So I have other spots in that area that I know there are black bears. And, you know, yeah, that there are easy other options to just go shoot a black bear. Yeah. So if that's what ends up happening, and that's what ends up happening, and I have other places, and I've got some other new spots, you know, and that's part of the fun of it too, man. Is, you know, you do something, it's successful, it's great, and if all that was there was big black bears, then I'd still be baiting it.
Oh yeah.
But if it continues to just be,
if it was sporadic black bears,
and if there are a couple of black bears that keep showing up, then we'll keep baiting it.
Right.
But if it turns into what it was the last 2 weeks of June last year, then we're not going to. I'm certainly not going to dump another 500-600 pounds of dog food for them.
No,
not
especially
happening.
when you have to carry it all on your back.
Exactly. But that's what I was getting at with my buddy. He came out there, and to his credit, he carried a bag of dog food on his pack frame with his gear for the night, pistol on his chest, and he carried the grease jug. Okay? Very nice of him to offer to carry the grease jug. You know how he carried it? He's not a real tall
I think he
fella.
told me this like this.
He carried it like a bear hug the entire way into the bait. The entire way.
Dude, I was carrying them things when I was like 12.
Tripping over sticks. Now, he's shorter than you and I.
Not when I was 12.
So when he was carrying it, the jug was pretty much on ground level.
I remember carrying it, kind of just like, you know, like dragging it along. My dad telling me to stop dragging it because it's going to poke a hole.
I told him, I said, I don't mind if it drags on the ground a little bit. And he was like, no, I can carry it. I can carry it. And he just bear hug it and walk all the way in a cotton hoodie.
That's what I did with that mattress.
I was like, you are going to want to, you're going to want to wash that hoodie after this, buddy.
It's going to smell good.
Yeah. But the bears didn't wind us that night.
Well, yeah, I can see why.
It was also pretty smoky out that day, too, which I think helps tremendously with grizzly bears.
A little spritz of grease on you, and then it helps the scent?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. There's your, here's your Beta 907 tip of the week. Speaking of, at the bear baiting class, there will be Beta 907 products.
Oh, will there?
Screaming Eagle is stocking Beta 907 now.
Nice.
I was just talking to Andrew.
So you mean we don't have to like meet up in a parking lot?
Exactly.
In polymer.
Exactly. Yep. So I was just talking to Andrew just the other day, texting him about.
So are they going to have a pretty good?
It's going to be specialized because Three Bears out here in North Pole is also carrying Beta 907.
They're mostly just stocking what they could get when I was talking to him.
So Andrew is trying to get some specific things, and he was asking me, you know, what does your circle use, and trying to get an idea of what's real popular. And so I told him, I said, look, this is what Mo and Jeff and I and our little circle will actually use in a year. Because it used to be that I you know, even a few years ago, I was still trying a bunch of different stuff. and I would have a little of this, little of that, little of this, little of that. And then I get to the end of the season and I still have half of it all left, which is great. And that got me through a couple of seasons like that. But then I started to realize, okay, well, at the end of the season, this tree still has this paste on it, so I'm scraping it off and throwing it in the garbage bag and hauling it out with me when I clean out the bait at the end of the year. Whereas this other tree where I put this other paste on is scratched down to the core of the tree. Something's going on here.
Which paste was that?
That was the Insane Banana paste.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They love that stuff.
Okay. Well, I'll
Dude,
use some of that.
Dude, that thing makes my teeth hurt. It's so sweet. Just the smell.
Have you used that Bruins Brunt?
Yes.
I tried that for the first time last year. I think it was was it the cookie one? What's the cookie one? To Die For?
Yeah. That's probably my favorite Bruins Brunch.
I think it's my favorite scent they have, period, is to Die For. Dude, it smells like a cookie. It smells like a freshly baked cookie.
The paste is also extremely good.
Is it?
The To Die For
they
paste.
Like it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. The two best pastes are To Die For.
I have a hard time distinguishing what they like and what I like. Like, oh, that smells good.
I think
there's
some similarities, except when it comes to Nasty Boar and Samhain, which are the other two things that I really like, but I don't like. But I told Andrew, I said, some of this, some of that, and just kind of the core essentials of what we actually use every single year.
I discovered Three Bears had Batum 907 last year. Was I walked in the door of Three Bears and I could smell Nasty Boar.
Oh, they had it inside? Oh, baby.
They have Gusto. The trapping lure in there too.
Yeah, well, so does Frontier in town.
Do they?
Yeah. Yeah. And I have used Gusto. I think I used Gusto last year.
Which that's a trapping lure that my dad really likes. And that stuff it's almost more pungent than Nasty Boar in a different way.
It's a different kind of pungent.
Yeah, well, it's a trapping lure. It's made for cold weather and all that. But
I used Gusto last year because I ran out of Nasty Boar for something. And I used Gusto right at the end of the year for something on that bait. But yeah, so anyway, there will be Batum 907 stuff there. I think we're going to give away a couple of door prizes of Batum 907 stuff. But, and then we also have somebody else that is supposed to be there, another industry guy from up here in Alaska. He's not from Fairbanks, but I think he's going to be in town that day. I'm not going to say anything about it right now because I don't want to guarantee it in case plans change. But, anyway, so it should be a pretty cool little event. There's not going to be food there. We're going to try to keep it, like I said earlier, relatively brief and to the point. And then you guys can go off and get a late dinner after that or stick around and hang out. But we'll have, beverages and soft drinks and water there. But yeah, so come on out and join us at Screaming Eagle Archery at 4:30 on April 18th. Now, are you ready for this last topic?
Sure.
Seal finger. You ever heard of it?
Yeah.
Have you honestly?
I read about it the earlier this week or whatever.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Briefly. I don't remember a lot about it, but.
Okay. So this constitutes the question because I read the article. Apparently, it's some nasty
I had
little
not heard
infection.
about it before that point. Yeah.
Okay. Neither had I. It's an infection that you get from, and the reason it's called seal finger is, well, seals. But you can also get it from bears. And some guy, a relatively younger guy too, was bear hunting on the peninsula, I think in 2024 it said. And he cut his hand while he was skinning a brown bear, and he got an infection in his finger. And it was this seal finger. And apparently it's very hard to diagnose, and they think that there are actually more cases of it than actually are reported on.
It's like the second documented case
or
something.
First or second documented all time.
Yeah.
But they think that it just goes undiagnosed most of the time. So, they think that it's somewhat more common than that. But you do get it from skinning brown bears. I don't know if it would translate to other bears, but I don't know.
Well, it's a coastal thing.
Yeah,
I'm trying to remember where they say it comes from. And it might actually come from a bacteria related to the seal.
So I had
and that the brown
an
bears
article.
Get it in them from the fish that they eat, that the seal, something like that.
Patient hadn't had anything to do with seals.
Yeah.
Case epidemiology. The second known case of a person contracting seal finger from an animal other than a seal, and the first implicating a bear. The other non-seal case reported in 2013 was from a cat, and it scratched a 54-year-old woman in Denmark. Let's see here.
So this is a widespread disease, not just a coastal Alaska thing?
No. Let's see. Successful treatment is required. Extensive antibiotics. It was originally identified in 1907 in Norway.
Yeah, I was just reading that.
Let's see here.
And it's called
aquariums, veterinary labs.
Seal finger or blubber finger. Speck finger in Norwegian.
Okay.
Yep.
So it is something to do with seals.
Yeah. It's a bacteria transmitted through bites from seals.
So they say that because bears are in contact with seals. So it would seem like...
Or a seal bit of fish and part of it washed up and the bear ate it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Interesting. But that kind of brought a question to mind that we've gotten before, and that you and I know, have had multiple times in the field. And that is, do you wear gloves when you're butchering an animal?
If most of the time, yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah. Usually they fall off by the time I'm done, but I put them on at the beginning.
But like a full-on rubber glove?
I mean, just a pair of nitrile gloves usually. Something basic.
But a rubber glove.
Especially when I'm cutting up a bear. Everything else I don't really worry as much about. Why, do you not?
No. Not hardly ever, actually.
I don't remember if I did when we cut up your grizzly. But I may not have had them in my pack. Usually I have them in my cut kit and I use them. It's kind of a best practice thing. Not that I've ever worried about getting seal finger. I don't think I'll have to worry about an interior bear. I'm more worried about, trichinosis or something in the, through blood contact.
Sure.
Which I've never got. I think there's only one time I ever cut through a glove and I felt my knife poke my finger through the glove.
Yeah.
My bloody knife and nothing ever came of that. Yeah. I doused it with peroxide.
I've gotten a couple of nicks and scrapes here and there, and I'm
always more careful.
Never had any issues.
I don't know, my hands are usually already so beat up. I wear gloves.
Yeah.
I know I haven't always, and I may not have always on every bear I've done, but I think it's a best practice thing I usually try. I don't think I've worried about it.
I've always thought about it because people keep bringing it up, especially clients. They're like, we'll shoot a brown bear, and I'll be starting to skin it, and they put gloves on, and I don't. I always get asked, well, don't you have gloves? No. Now, sometimes if it's cold and it's raining, then I will put on some non-lined rubber gloves, like fishing gloves, like the big red rubber, thick rubber gloves, like what you would wear to go out in the water with, right? Alaska commercial fishing gloves. I don't know what else to call them. Yeah. I usually have a pair of those, the non-insulated version, with no liner glove in them. I usually have a pair of those in my pack or back at Spike Camp for fleshing. Because when I'm back at camp,
a lot of grease and
and I'm working with the fat, and I don't want my hands dirty because I want to be able to have a can of pop or a bottle of water or go eat a candy bar and just take off those gloves, and they're reusable.
Right.
I hate single-use rubber gloves. They're just garbage everywhere. I get real tired of gloves being everywhere in camp.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it just, I don't know why, but it just annoys me. And people leave
that would annoy me. The fact that
people leave them all
around
balled up and, leave them on.
Now, I'll reuse the same pair of rubber gloves, again, even reusable, if they're decent
to me,
ones.
my hands get sweaty, and once I take them off, I pull them inside out, and that's it. I'm done with them. So I've just found that...
I'll leave them inside out so they dry out.
Just non-lined rubber gloves, and I'll just use those. If it's chilly out, I'll use those to skin with, like skinning a brown bear. But like black bears, even the grizzly bear last year in the interior, and I
don't think I had any gloves on that one. I think I had used them up.
No.
What I had up. The biggest issue is they seem to fall apart. But You can buy some really nice, some Grease Monkey or something.
Yeah.
Rubber gloves that
My wife always puts gloves on.
That actually, with bears, to me, it's like, I really don't want to catch a blood disease from a bear, and I haven't yet, but the wrong thing,
right?
Now, if you cut through your glove into your hand,
you're going to get it.
The glove
regardless.
didn't help anything.
Yeah.
But if you cut through your glove into your hand, you treat the wound, put a new glove on.
Yeah.
That might, because then you still got to finish cutting up that bear. That might be, I don't know.
Right. Yeah, it's one of those things that I probably should do, but I just thought it was an interesting, I wonder if Moe does this all the time.
I think it's kind of a thing that I've tried to do.
Yeah.
But it's definitely not been something that I've done all the time.
Yeah. I know I have not prioritized it. Like every once in a while I'll do it with just a pair of fishing gloves, but I've not prioritized it. But that article made me think about it. Like, you know what?
Maybe.
It
sounds like a pretty nasty.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's hard to identify.
Yeah, especially.
And apparently it's a very specific antibiotic that targets it to kill it. So if you go in and they, misdiagnose it, then they very well may say, hey, we gave you the wrong antibiotic. Or, you go to a doctor two weeks later.
Right.
Oh, that's not working, huh? So it'd be worth it to just easier to
wear a pair of gloves.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think I'm going to start doing it.
There's some gloves. I bought a game bag kit a couple of years ago, and I didn't have any lightweight game bags. That was my first 5-day sheep hunt I went on after after I went packing for that outfitter.
Yeah.
And so I went and bought a kit of lightweight game bags, and it came with these rubber gloves. Mm-hmm. I don't think I've used, but they're rubber gloves, but they go all the way up the arm.
Yeah, yeah.
Which I actually really like that idea. Yeah. If I'm wearing them, they may as well, cover my sleeves.
So, Arctic Fire and Safety.
I usually do this number anyway.
Right. Arctic Fire and Safety, I believe, has those elbow length, but they're that commercial fishing material. So that they're like the normal red fishing gloves, but they're up to your elbow. I'm pretty sure they have those because I was in Arctic Fire earlier this winter, and they had the black rubber gloves with that little felt liner in them, and they have a little elastic cuff cord on them too. Okay. So I need a pair of new rubber hunting gloves anyway.
I don't really want to cut something up with thick gloves. I have done it with, what's that style? It's like fleece, and then it's just kind of like dipped fingers and palm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've cut stuff up with those, and the fleece ends up just getting soaked. With blood
just totally saturated with blood.
Usually, if I have cold, I actually like that when I have cold hands.
Yeah,
because it keeps your hands warm.
Yeah,
and they're tight enough around your fingers, you still have dexterity.
Right. I use those at work every once in a while if I'm working in the cold.
That's typically what I keep in my truck just for jumping out and doing stuff quickly.
Right. But those commercial fishing gloves, the ones that I've used for fleshing traditionally, just the normal wrist length ones, I just go a size down so that the fingers don't twist over.
I just feel like skinning I
up.
would have a harder time.
It doesn't bother me.
Huh.
Yeah, I've done entire animals with them when it's raining and cold and wet when I actually wear them. But I had that thought after reading that article. I thought, you know what? I should just get the elbow length commercial fishing gloves, and just keep it off of me, because at that point, you can put them on over your raincoat and your coat's not going to get all bloody and smell like greasy brown bear, and you can keep the blood off your hands. Why not?
Yeah.
But those black ones are actually going to be my new hunting gloves for the coast, because my orange ones that I've had for so long are starting to get a bunch of holes in them. They're like $10 at the hardware store on the coast, but they're $25 here in the interior.
Really?
Yeah. That's ridiculous.
It's all about volume of sale, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, I just wanted to bring it up and ask you, but I didn't know if you'd heard about that article or not.
I have or had. I know I usually go buy like a small box of the mechanics gloves.
Yeah.
because they're a lot thicker. The nice expensive ones, because they're usually a lot thicker. Like you can prick them with a knife and they don't just fall apart, right? You can grab them and yank on them and all that's usually, and they usually have some grip built in and stuff because, well, a regular blue nitrile glove and blood.
Well,
it's
the
like
client from a couple of years ago had some really nice rubber gloves too, didn't they?
Those ones fell apart really easy though. Still,
did they?
Yeah, they were I think a surgeon's glove or something like that. They were orange. Yeah, yeah. I was using some. He gave me some to use.
Yeah. And I didn't use them.
I don't think you used gloves at all.
No.
Yeah. Or you used your thicker gloves or something.
No, I didn't have those sheep hunting.
I think you were like, nah, I don't need gloves. And
no, they just caribou.
I think I pulled out my gloves and he goes, here, try these, which
yeah.
I didn't expect the client to be handing me stuff to try, but I was all for it.
Didn't you try his knife too? Just for a bit?
Yeah, I did. He had the Argali knife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked that one.
Yeah. Argali makes some nice looking stuff. They're making clothes now.
I know. They're not the only ones.
No. Seems like that's a trending thing.
So speaking of clothes, have you heard of the brand Spica?
No.
No?
No.
So I was looking them up.
Spica?
Yeah.
Spell it.
Spika.
Okay, that's what I thought.
It almost sounds like a knockoff on Sitka.
Okay.
Though it doesn't look like a knockoff on Sitka. And I went on their website.
And they have headed right now.
And they have you can go look it up. They have there's like a Spica USA branch and everything now because it's an Australian brand.
Okay.
And I did a little research on them.
Sure, it's not pronounced Spica.
I don't know, man. I saw the name and was like, oh, and Spica,
Spica.
It's like Iran.
Oh, too soon. I gotta sit back here and get the sun out of my eyes.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I got some sunglasses right up there if you want.
Well, I'm used to having windows.
Yeah, the windows are nice. I know we might have to gotta get the lighting just right, make it look like we're professionals.
I'm not too far back now, am I?
No, you're
should
fine.
Be fine. Spica.
Anyhow, so their gear, Weekend Mish, those guys were wearing a bunch of it.
Oh, is that what they were wearing?
The camo and stuff they were wearing. And that's where I saw the name. I was like, what's that? And so I looked up. It seems to be kind of a intermediate brand.
Sure.
Not super high end, like there's going to be a difference. But I just wanted to know I wondered if you heard about it or anything. I thought it was cool.
Never heard of it before, no.
And I pulled up their website and they've got these products are 75% off.
Yeah. I
was like, well, that looks way too cheap to be worth anything, but it might be decent. I mean, if those guys were wearing it, they know they seem like they know what they're doing with some of the hunts they've been on.
They've got an anorak deal, shell jackets. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, some of it's the cost makes it seem like it's worth trying.
Right.
Anyhow,
they've got all kinds of stuff on here.
Yeah, they make all kinds of stuff.
Let's see. What about the company?
I didn't get that far. All I did was look up the website and oh, that looks cool. And then I looked up the quality.
Interesting.
So it's I don't know, I was kind of reading like an intermediate, like a Killick or a...
that's kind of the impression I'm getting of it.
Or or even a little higher end depending on what you're doing, but depending on the piece, I guess. Killick doesn't make a huge wide range of stuff either.
Yeah.
But...
yeah, that's interesting. I mean, it's not... it's certainly not super... top end, I don't think.
But yeah, they make backpacks,
but I don't know. I mean, seems like they make some decent stuff. Out of stock, unavailable. So there are some discontinued things, but there's I always tend to judge a company's clothing quality based off of their rain gear and their insulation. So their rain jacket.
There's one of the guys from Weekend Mish on one of their website pictures.
Yeah. Their rain jacket, the Stalker jacket, that is on sale for $157, normal price $314. It is 15,000 waterproof rating. So for reference, typical waterproof ratings on a 3-layer waterproof breathable jacket, like a Gore-Tex coat, is going to be 20,000 plus. So 15,000 is, it's all right.
Yeah, it looks, and it doesn't look like it's super fitted.
No,
it looks very loose,
pretty boxy.
But again, for the price,
the Anorak.
What do they have for knives? The Bushmaster Old Boy, the Bushmaster Jeremiah.
Let me see that. What's that one? No good. Oh, yeah. Sorry, but I'll stick with ABW.
ABW and MKC, right? That's primarily what I have now.
Yeah.
Oh, and I've got that.
I think I'm going to pick up another ABW.
You were telling me that, like more of a bushcrafter style.
I was thinking about it. Yeah.
Which I have.
Yeah, you do actually. Yeah, but not from ABW.
No.
I'm curious about another Skinner because I really, really like the steel on that Wrangell ultralight that I've got from ABW. I'm a big fan of that. And I was thinking about getting the Kodiak Skinner.
That's their big one?
Well, it's not the biggest one, no.
Okay. I know they have
the thin horn and the Wrangell.
Yeah.
The thin horn to the Wrangell is a size difference. And then from the Wrangell to the Chugach and the Kodiak is a size difference. So the Chugach and the Kodiak are both like a 4-inch blade, I think.
For some reason, I thought the Chugach and the Kodiak were the big ones.
No.
But they have bigger. Okay.
And then they have the Unimac and the Brooks range. And those are both 5.5-inch blades, I think. So,
it's Alaska Blade Works, when we say ABW.
Yes.
Thin horn, Wrangell, Chugach, Kodiak.
But I was looking at getting the Kodiak Skinner.
Oh, the Unimac and Brooks, I see.
But you see the blade on the Kodiak.
Yeah.
Okay. See how it kind of dips in and then goes out to the belly?
Yep.
See that? I wonder how that is for sharpening. And that's one of the things that I'd like to see a bit more of.
So this not being a hunting knife, but we've talked about it before.
Jack the Ripper.
I've sharpened this all right on my little $40.
Have you really?
Yeah. Like it's not perfect because it's such a wide.
Sure.
But I've gotten an edge onto it again. It needs a lot more work than just an edge at this point.
But then if you go back to the Unimac Skinner.
The Unimac's the really big one, right?
Well, yeah.
You mean the Chugach?
No, the Unimac.
Okay, that's a 5.5-inch blade.
Yeah. So you see that one. It's still got a similar profile.
It's just longer.
But there's more belly there because the blade's longer in general. And I know somebody with the Unimac Skinner, and they said that they love it for cutting up moose. 5.5-inch blade's pretty long.
My only question.
But then go back one more.
Which we can.
And then look at the Chugach. Tell me you don't think that'd be a sweet blade just in general. Because you can make that a Skinner.
Yeah.
If you're not crazy with using the tip.
Yeah.
Because at that point, if you work it just right, you still have plenty of belly to work with.
You do. It would be a lot different. Yeah.
It would be a little bit flatter of a skin stroke.
Yep.
But
a lot flatter,
but you still retain that tip for doing your starter cuts.
Yeah.
Picking up what I'm putting down? Mm-hmm. But I don't know. Matt is doing a podcast with us here not too distant in the future.
Yeah.
And when he does...
Yeah, I want to ask you about the S45 versus Magna Cut. And that's the only question. You're talking about buying like a bushcrafter style knife, when they're big ones from them.
We talked about that Magna Cut discussion
and I
on the phone the other day.
how that S45 would handle the beating versus the Magna Cut.
We can talk about it. Yeah. Yeah, he and I specifically talked about it.
I'm not bringing it... I'm asking the question now, but not to...
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have been... impressed with the way that it holds up compared to what I had heard before. People that said that, excuse me here. Well, I guess I'm not going to sneeze. I might.
Well, at one point I'd looked at all the data.
Yeah.
And
I had heard that S45 was going to be more brittle than you would want for an average, do-it-all hunting blade.
Even as a do-it-all,
I have not found that.
To me, as a do-it-all knife, if S35 is good enough, S45 is great.
Right.
It's more for like the really heavy duty stuff. That if you have a 5.5 inch blade and you're going to be chopping wood with it, right, chipping in ice with it and stuff like that, that's where I start to wonder where it's going to get.
I'm not chipping ice with any knife I have.
I mean, so here's an example though.
Okay.
If you're in the mountains and you need water and there's water and you got to get through that ice,
I'll take the back of the knife handle and bust my way through it.
Okay, I mean, it's just...
I'm not taking the front of my knife and point into the ice. I would hate myself.
I'm not talking about prying. I'm just talking about, like, in a circle. Like, if you got to go down
I just don't do stuff like that with a knife.
Okay.
No.
See, to me, like, I may not ever need to do that, but if I'm buying a knife for that purpose, I want the strongest.
Yeah.
I don't know. I also just, like, the name, it's the Super Cub,
Oh, for your MKC knife. Yeah.
I carried that on that sheep hunt.
I know you did. I can't believe you did. After all the other weight that you saved everywhere else, then you brought some.
It was just like, well, it's not my backpack, so it doesn't count.
Arkansas toothpick in the mountains.
And I did use it.
Did you?
Yeah. When I was getting water.
Oh.
Chipping ice. No, I'm just kidding. No, it wasn't actual. It was just there was a bunch of snow in the pool of water.
Yeah.
Which is really annoying. And so I used it to scrape the snow and like cut out a section of snow for the water to come in.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I'm sure you could have done that with your hands.
But then they would have gotten cold.
Anyway, so I do have some questions for Matt
me too.
about another blade, but I want to make sure that I get the one that I actually want.
Right.
So I'm sure we'll
talk about
it.
Because I don't have an intermediate blade right now.
Yeah.
I've got a 5.5 inch blade.
And I do, but I've had some issues with corrosion with it, honestly.
And I've got that S30 Hidden Canyon, but that's not really an intermediate. It's pretty small.
Yeah. That S45 has been pretty good about not corroding too, which has been pretty impressive compared to another knife that I've been using as that mid-size for a Skinner application, and I've had some corrosion issues with that knife.
What steel is it?
52-100.
Oh, that's why. It's not stainless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But S45 on that Wrangell has been great. So I will, in all honesty, probably going to end up being a Kodiak or a Unimac schooner. That's probably what it's going to end up being. But if I could take the Chugach and round the end of it up a bit, I would prefer a knife that style rather than kind of a convex belly towards the handle of the Kodiak, I think. But again, I want to see them all in person and actually be able to handle them and then make a decision, because it might be different.
Yeah, just go with the Brooks range
than the pictures. I could go with the Brooks range. That's just like a big Chugach. You can make any knife work.
Yeah, it's only 5.5 inch blade.
It's the same size as the Unimac is. It's just a different profile.
Yeah. And so you don't like the way it comes back?
But you see here, it goes up.
It makes more work of this cut. It makes that edge more usable, especially for skinning, because this is a little bit out of your way.
Yeah.
Anyhow, we're staring at a phone.
Yep. This is what people came to watch on a podcast.
Oh yeah. Well, so many people watch podcasts these days.
Exactly. Well, folks, if you enjoy the Great Alaska Hunting Podcast and you have enjoyed or even slightly enjoyed our little bit of a rant today about bear baiting, talking about spring coming up, a little random chit chat about things coming up and film projects and the bear baiting class on April 18th at Screaming Eagle. We appreciate it if you would like and subscribe if you are on YouTube.
Yeah.
And if you are listening to us on Spotify or Apple or whatever other platform, then please leave us a positive written review and a 5-star rating. We would greatly appreciate it. The audience continues to grow, And we're a little over, well, I guess not a little over. We're about a year and a half into production at this point.
Yep.
Closing in on a year and a half anyway.
We're right at a year and a half.
And the show has grown and gotten in front of a lot of new people, and we appreciate it. So share it with a friend and leave us a good review. That helps us to utilize the algorithm, and the podcast world will put our show in front of more listeners. So that's the only way that we ask you to support us for the time being. We don't have any discount codes or promotional sales or anything like that, or even any merch out yet, but we need to get on the merch wagon and, do something that's not super tacky. But, so at some point we'll do that. But for right now, please support the channel and the show and continue to help us grow and leave us a positive rating and review and share it with a friend. And until next time, tread lightly, but don't tread well. Thanks for listening.